of earning was distracted by Kampala Capital City Authority enforcement and sister security agencies, where we saw vendors, hawkers, kiosks, and even some buildings erased as KCCA aims at enforcing trade order. Now with me in studios is the State Minister for Kampala, the man who has been at the center point of all this, most of all the discussions with various teams there to see that they abide by these regulations. That is Honorable Cho Fatogabye Kabuye. You're most welcome to our studios.
Thank you very much. I
know people are eager to hear from you and better understand this level of enforcement. Just to begin with, one would want to start by answering the biggest question that we've had is, which legal instrument are you using for these enforcements? Because we know the ordinance is still underway. So which law are you using? We saw those owning kiosks under the association rushing to court.
Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, Kampala. Good morning, the people of Nakaseke. You know, never forget where you're coming from. So, good morning, Kampala. Good morning, Wachiso. Good morning, Mukono. And, of course, the surrounding municipalities. And these are the sources of trouble in Kampala. Because the influx comes from either Chira, Nansana, Wachiso, Mukono, and they come, and Krogini, Kampala. Yes, we are not doing anything outside the law. Everything we are doing is within the prescriptions of the law and within the boundaries of KCC authority, both the Act and the 2006 ordinance on hawkers and street vending. Yes. So the ordinance in place is just being updated. Not like we don't have it. We have it and give us powers to ensure, to enforce regulations and trade order in the city.
When you look at the older ordinance that now is actually before KCCA, yes, it gives hawkers permits, it gives them licenses. So with that, isn't that a justification for their stay?
And you're very right 100%. Now we are confusing two words here. We are confusing vendors and hawkers. To the best of my knowledge, I have not seen even any single hawker in the city. They are not there.
Honorable Minister.
We are dealing with disorganized street traders whom we've baptized the name hawkers. And you know, the Uganda has a better way of making it. Everyone, Mutembei. No, we are dealing with disorganized street vendors, those who come and pour their things on walkways of the city. Those who come with a lot of impunity and just stage anywhere and they start trading. Those are the people we are dealing with. And I've not seen any hawker. Perhaps they turned themselves, perhaps they involved themselves into vending, street vending. For us, we are trying to put order in the streets. Those who are vending along the streets illegally. And those are the people, actually some of them left the markets. They left their stores, especially during the lockdowns, when I think, you know, when there was a lot of sanity in the city, everything was empty. So people moved their products from the markets and pour them on the streets. These are the people who are saying, please go back where you are supposed to be. I've not seen any hawker, incidentally. We're looking for them, they're not there. A few people have claimed to be hawkers, readers, this, that. When you start putting them on a task, produce this list. Where are they? They just disappeared in thin air.
Honorable, let's also understand this very well. Yes. Street vending in Kampala has been on for a long time. And we are told that even some of these were paying high costs for being able to conduct business. And this is with the knowledge of Kampala Capital City Authority. Why are you turning against these people at such a time when we know it could be right, but maybe the timing could be wrong?
No. Both statements are wrong. Yes, they have been in the city, but who brought them there? These have been in the city illegally, working in the city. That is very true. But let's first go back to the principle. Why? Why are we saying, please, go away from the city? Mainly the two reasons. We are decongesting the city because of COVID. That's why I think by now we would be seated together and patting each other, but you know, you were so many meters away from me because of the COVID SOPs. Secondly, we have a security matter behind it. Thirdly, we have an international obligation of ensuring a global smart city where Kampala capital city belongs. The problem when it comes to this, we isolate ourselves. So you have two options. Either to remain too local into your cocoon and you create your own self and forget about the international resemblance and then you move on, or you come out clearly and tell the people the right thing. Who brought them there? Who collects money? They pay to who? These are individual extortion of, you know, from people. I've looked around KCCA books of accounts and asked them, please, can you produce payment evidence of street vendors? None is just there. But they come to you and to me, and those are just elements, bad elements of work within our establishment. So the point here is, one, we must have a smart city where we have trade order. Two, we should not promote disorganization and impunity and bad manners actually, indiscipline in the city. Three, those very people clog around and then they start pretending to be, oh, mobilizers, mania of this, mobilizers of that, mobilizers of this. No. We must have discipline, despite the fact we need elections and everything, but discipline must be number one.
Talking about discipline, let's look at the hands of the people calling for this discipline, because you who is seeking for equality must have clean hands.
Yes.
Honorable Minister, we saw kiosks, some even well-branded, belonging to big telecommunication companies, being removed from these streets. Well, I would believe a person selling mangoes, tomatoes could come there automatically. But for such, why are we seeing this enforcement? We even saw a structure along that is the old park, the new
tax park,
the new tax park around there, being put
down Elon Road.
Yes, and one is wondering, where have you been all along, and why now?
Yes, I have just come to the city 6 months ago from my village. You know, for us, we are villagers, and I'm proud of it. Actually, it has taken 35 years, perhaps, to have villagers to come and tell the city, hey, please wake up, this is how the city should look like. That's where we appreciate. Two, the kiosks you saw being removed from the streets or from the pavements of the street, those are walkways. Those are walkways. Like I said, if a mistake was made by maybe 1 or 2 people, then we can't continue that mistake. It's our duty now to correct that particular mistake. That's why those kiosks are being removed. Of course, I've got a lot of calls from colleagues, from people, say, oh, this one, this and that. But we can't do selective regulation. My brother, even if that kiosk is yours, and I know now I love you, you know, you're my brother, you're my everything, I will remove it first, then I tell you what to do. And what we've done, say, okay, thank you very much, we've heard, please kindly relocate these kiosks where they are supposed to be. Let's have sanity in the city. Believe me or not, now we get problems of entering the city like I did this morning from Nasana. But immediately you enter the city, you feel like you're home. You drive as if you're driving in a sensible area. That's why. Then this structure you saw around Erin Road, in between there in the junction. That structure, time and time again, the guy had been warned over 12 times. Not even to construct the structure. Every Sunday, weekend, people wake up, find the structure is up. They warn him, remove it. He refused. Impunity, he starts getting these godfathers and so on and so forth, godparents. But the unfortunate bit of it is not the structure itself. The unfortunate bit of it, he has obstructed a sewage line which serves the whole of western part of the city. Right from Mengo area, Nakulabye, Makerere University, the whole of that area, there's a whole, a very big project of constructing a sewage line The guy has stepped there. And the contractor had it withdrawn 3 years ago. The man said, okay, I can't continue. When you sort yourselves, you call me back. Government is losing money because we pay penalties. The guy refused to remove his structure. That kind of impunity, that is the indiscipline I talked about. In this era, in these years when I'm in the city, we are not going to accept it. Well, abide by the rules and the regulations. You can ask him, did you have any physical plan? Who approved your plan? He's nowhere to be seen. Time and time again, the planning department, our physical planners, want this gentleman, don't construct this place. He waits for them on the weekend, he constructs. And they start collecting money. Well, where we went wrong somewhere, somehow, again, it's cases to go and you start collecting perhaps licenses from those operators of the shops. But of course, you can't allow a shop to also to continue when the person is there, I mean, in your city. You have to give him a license. Those are the licenses they were waiving.
Honorable Minister, I've seen you so much interested in this, with a lot of passion. Actually, at one time, now everyone was telling me, the senior minister is Jacques, but the state minister is so much. And when I called Honorable Misa Kabanda, she told me the man who is directly into this is Chofa Togabie. But let's look at the relocation plan, because yes, you did not invite them.
True.
But also we know these people fend from this. Actually, some have even threatened that insecurity might increase, much as you're talking about reduction of insecurity. What is the relocation plan like for people living streets?
No, thank you. That is a very beautiful question. I'm not like I'm too passionate in, you know, when you're at work, you can, by the way, I'm just doing a delegated job from my boss, the senior minister. And we also just trying to enforce policy, because our role is to oversee KCC operations and support our organization. We support the authorities so that we can have sense in the city. We can implement these policies. The problem is, that's where the passion, where people say, oh, the guy is so passionate. Yes, it's because of that. I'm just trying to do delegated job and delegated work. Now, the relocation plan. Government way back, 2016 or 14, around there, they bought a market for them. Usafi market at 34 billion Uganda shillings. Just imagine putting aside 34 billion at West, and people are not using it. Then over the weekend, you saw what was happening. My minister and the executive director were walking around, identifying spaces in all these markets where government has invested a lot of money. A lot of taxpayers' money has been invested in Wandegea, in Owino, in Nakasero. Shockingly, there are so many open spaces. There are so many stalls. There are so many unutilized spaces in these markets. And the vendors themselves, they know, because some of them came from there. Of course, some of them just you took advantage of this lockdown and they found themselves on the streets. Now we are saying, okay, thank you very much. You've done wrong, fine. But we can't, as parents, we can't continue punishing you like this. Can you please go to Usafi? For instance, by yesterday, Usafi had got 454 stalls unutilized and 16 open spaces, which can contain 150 people each space. Then, one day alone, it's an amazing story.
I call that a rejected market.
Somehow. But not a rejected, it's because of the characters of some people. Because when you go to that market, the vendors in the market accuse KCC staff of owning stalls in the market, and other leaders, of course. People tell you Chilabo has got 40 stalls, and stalls were locked. Chofa has got this number of stalls, and they are really locked. Imagine
I saw one
such
where
a spirit.
People just put fridges.
Yes, but those ones belong to some people. In the KCCA, belongs to us. We, the people who should have actually be helping the others. So we are saying, okay, thank you. We've got the information. Now, We need to take another order. Break the ice. You'll tell me if you sold your mother's chibanja to come and construct these stores. How did you get these stores? You who actually a person who must allocate stores.
Technical staff, a
technical staff,
politician,
yes.
you're owning stores.
Why are we becoming so selfish? It is our duty to help others because we are like a candle, a burning candle, which must light another candle. Now, people are suffering. You're seated on something, and yet you are the person who must implement. Government gave you a responsibility to do this. That's what is happening in the Uganda market. Owino market, good enough. You know, Owino has been receiving, despite of these few challenges, operational challenges. For it has been receiving people. Spaces are still there. Nakasero market have a few issues also to sort out. So the relocation plan is not going well, but we are saying, please, start with Wasafi. Let's fill Wasafi. Then we go to Wandegea. Then we sort out to Nakasero. If all that get filled and we feel like you're still there, as they claim in the quotes, you know, they say they are like 100,000, 64, you know, every time they give me a different number. Government is going to buy more land for them. We have enough plan for them. Actually, we are almost allocate 100 billion to just buy land in different divisions, and we put them there. But you know, these markets are just nursery, like the president says always. These are nursery areas. We want to bring our children who are at the beginning of life, of trading, entering businesses. Teach them from there. When you get enough information and skills and expertise, get out. Leave the chauffeurs also to come and enter. When the chauffeur gets, get out. Let Chirabo enter. Like that. So the plan is there, and we are waiting for them to settle. By the way, they also have a stimulus package. Immediately they settle there. We are going to give them something so that they can start life.
Very interesting. And our viewers, you can be part of the topic of discussion this morning by simply going on our social media platforms. Our WhatsApp number is on your screen, 0709 60 25 92. 0709 60 25 92. As we look at enforcement of trade order in Kampala City. And my guest this morning is the Minister of State for Kampala, Chofa Togabye Kabuye, the man who has been at the center of this, ensuring that this is enforced. Honorable Minister.
Yes.
The interesting question is, you've come with a lot of energy. Yeah? I've seen you. You sound very determined.
Yes.
Very confident this is going to work. But how sustainable is this? Because Ugandans are used that this just come like a rainy season. There's a lot of force, then after, we all go back to...
disappear.
Yes, so this time, how do you assure the people that are going to the markets that after a period of time, they will not return to the streets because other people are benefiting from the streets? What assurance do you have for people who maybe left their shops, now they have been working on the streets, and they are going to go back to the shops, that after a period of time, we won't see others now replacing them, and all loses meaning, like many efforts have been under KCCA?
No, the smart city model or the smart city campaign is here to stay. Like I said, this is a global campaign. It's an international campaign. And I should tell Ugandans, Kampala, capital city, is a tourist city. It's the face of the country. It's the recipient. Actually, it's the gateway to Uganda. Now, if we don't stick to our principles and we plan the city well, we're bound to collapse. We are losing tourists because of one thing. Can you imagine people have turned our city, they call it a border city. I have a friend of mine, is one of the investors. His brothers came to visit him from London. They said, oh, we shall never come here. Why? Because of the disorganization in the city. But these are the messages which go all over the world. So we are here to stay. Whether I or Dorothy, the ED, or another person is there or not, this is the policy. You must follow the policy, and we are here to stay. We didn't come to joke. We are not on tea party. We didn't come to eat chips and then we run away. No. It is the policy we must follow in Uganda, And we want these other cities, the new cities, to copy. And it's not going to stop on the vendors, the street vendors. One time somebody told me they are not called street vendors, they are called street disorganizers. We are not going to stop there. We shall again go ahead to look at other aspects which make a smart city, including public transport. So once we put this city to where we want, just to a resemblance of Nairobi, you know, the good thing Ugandans are good at comparing. All the time they tell me how Dar es Salaam is well set, how Arusha, can you imagine Arusha is well set, how Kigali is well set, how Nairobi is well set, and then you don't want a similar thing in your country. That is not being patriotic enough, and you know, that's not being actually serious. So let us look at what we're doing as a starting point to make Kampala a livable city. And people should know this is a capital city, not a city. So that other cities, Gulu, Mbale, something, Masaka, Weya, Mbarara, can copy. And that's why we are here.
Very interesting, ensuring that Kampala is clean, Kampala is a convenient place for everybody, and the vendors are off the streets. I'm also reliably informed that next are the border motorcyclists that along the queue that are coming next after dealing with the street vendors in Kampala. But Honorable Minister,
yes.
One of the interesting bit of it here is selective enforcement. You talked about people that have godfathers. But even with the recent operation so far, we still see these elements of selective enforcement. One would think maybe it is corruption. One would think they are godfathers. How are you going to ensure that this brings to an end such acts in KCCA? Because even previously, you would find one vendor is not allowed here, the other doing the same thing is allowed there.
Now, this campaign right now is no longer a campaign for KCCA alone. It's a campaign for the country per se, the whole government. Cabinet is behind this move. You may think Chofa is just a face, the front line face. The whole cabinet is behind this. Then the KCCA is implementing our policy. Anything selective I've not seen, you wouldn't have seen all those kiosks of powerful telecom companies being removed from the street. You don't know, my brother, how many kiosks of the very, very powerful people in the country, we've removed them. They have gone. And of course, they lamented a bit until they accepted the fact that, yes, we need a clean city. Now it is a move for clean state. That's why it came a bit early, so that you don't intermingle into other things. Then it's not like a border per se, but the whole public transport system in the city has to be worked on. The other day I was in Parliament. I was meeting one of the committees of Parliament responsible for physical planning and works. You can't believe the bus owners, who happen, one of the members happens to be in the bus business, they said, no, ask for the money, we give it to you, buy us land outside your central business town, we park there. Because if we, the big fish, moves away fast, you know, buses are, you know. If we moved away today, we shall show examples to the small commuter taxis that indeed this is what we want to go. This is the way to go. Now, if buses are pulled out of the city, what about you, the border?
Well, let's take a look at some of the messages that are coming in. Good morning, UBC. Thanks for the show. I'm Brian from Kampala. I was inquiring from the minister, why are they chasing vendors from the city only, not in the peripheries like Machindie and Murago? Oh,
Brian, don't worry. The operation by, I think, next week we shall start on the divisions. The city has got 5 divisions. We started with the central business city.
The CDB.
The CDB, yes. Now we are moving to Kawempe, Machindie, and everywhere. Please, the operation is not stopping here. Thank you very much for even, you know, getting that concern. that it shows that people have appreciated. That's an appreciation.
Well, I want to thank you. The messages are there, but time is not so much on my side. Thank you. Many of you are really asking the big question, which is how sustainable is this going to be? Why have you started with the weak ones? I love a message that says, why have you begun with the weak ones? It says the whole Kampala, right from construction of buildings, all these have to be changed. So why do you start with the weak ones?
The problem actually starts with you, the people in the media fraternity. You don't. Yes. You know why I'm saying this?
Are we planners of the
city? No, you're not planners of the city. You don't hope us to come and show the public what we do behind the kitchen. We've been cooking. Actually, we didn't start with these people. We started with building owners, arcade owners. You remember when I just came in Kampala, the whole noise was on arcade owners. Actually, people said, you know, you are touching the untouchables. We sat with them. Everybody adhered to the principles. Now, after that, we used to tell them, after this, we are coming to street, putting order in the street. After that, we are moving like this, like this. Actually, we've been giving our timelines properly, but people didn't look at that. They only concentrated on the last end of the time frame. Now, the building, do you know how many plans we approve every week? The last 3 months, we've approved over 1,450 plans. And this is done within a record time of 30 days. You have your plan, if everything is proper. Actually, 30 days if you have even some back and, back and forth. But if everything is proper, within 20 days, you have your plan. No, we are moving. Only that certain things are not amplified. Then we only look at a few aspects which are amplified. No one is going to be left. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We started with physical planning. Then we dealt with the arcade owners. We closed some of them. We actually sealed a few go down areas in arcades. And that's why actually the arcade owners eventually turned and realized the problem. Now they are the happiest because they say at least people can move into our shops. People can come and buy.
Well, these are people's livelihoods that we are discussing.
Yes.
However, we all need a clean city. My final message this morning from you, thank you so much, our viewers, is an appreciation to the Honorable Minister. And this is a moderator. My name is Dennis Ochaya from Leader City. I must really appreciate the Honorable Minister for the initiative of removing the street vendors. The street vendors issue within cities in Uganda is very complicated. Our politicians have a lot to do at their hands. And this brings me to my final question to you. How are you going to ensure that you're in tandem with the political leadership of Kampala? We've seen the Deputy Mayor, Doreen Nanjura, coming up and saying no. You see, you even don't have spaces there. You've asked central government for money so that we have markets, model markets constructed in each division every financial year. They're not doing that. The Lord Mayor says, which law are you using? You're just working on the ordinance and you're enforcing. This clash between the technical and the political wing, how are we going to ensure that we harmonize for the good of Kampala?
No, the good thing, KCC has got about 54 councillors. Save a few, about 4 or 5. Everyone is in tandem with us. Everyone is in agreement. And actually, they come to my office all the time and say, please help us. Central government is here now talking. I tell you, we've asked for money. We've gone to parliament and said, please, this is the money I want to ensure I get markets in every division. We've also gone ahead to identify land. Now, where the deputy and the hub boss comes in a bit, these are just political statements to appease people. But we told you, some of us, we are not selling ice creams. We are saying, this is it. We came for business, and we are really doing the right job, which brought us in the city. Him actually is very happy because I remember on 22nd December last year, he put it on to me, telling me the city is not breathing, that I should ensure the city breathes. Now, Mr. Lord Mayor, I'm trying to ensure your city is now breathing. So allow us to go to Lubaga division, we make it clean. Nakawa division, we make it clean. Match in the division, we make it clean, then we start breathing.
Well, with starting breathing, let me have your final shot this morning regarding trade order in Kampala, Honorable Minister.
Please, I beg you, I request you, my brothers and my friends, I know we are talking and I know I will continue engaging you. Go to where we've designated you to be. Go and utilize the opportunity. Go to these markets, occupy them. Then we are coming to give you a stimulus package to help you move. But go away from the city. The streets are going to become very, very, very hard for anybody to survive there if you're not abiding by regulations. Please go and trade from anywhere. People can find you. Even if you're in Rugazi, people will drive to Rugazi and buy things. So go where government has put resources for you, and we are waiting for you. We shall support you economically, socially, politically, and morally, so that we uplift you, we help you do a proper business, run away from inaccessible and mediocre sort of businesses. I love you all. Now, this week we must meet the borders, I think tomorrow or Thursday. Please, let's follow. We agreed on our 6 principles. Let's follow them. I'm not going to go against any, and I'm not going to relax any. We agreed in a meeting. Please, let's follow. And you know me when I say, please, let's do this. Adhere. Otherwise, the city is for us all, and we want a livable city.
The man with authority speaking, next are the border, but let's all support
in a calm way
these initiatives aimed at making Kampala safe and clean for all of us. Thank you so much for your messages, a very lovely one here. I understand the Honorable Minister has a very tough job. Planning a city like Kampala is one hell of a task. We are behind you and wish you the best. So, Honorable Minister, you have the support of the people. Well, I will leave you for Good Morning Uganda Extra. Thank you so much for being with us, but also remember that do not invest your money in anything that is illegal, most when it comes to trade, because the voices you've heard from the oath's mouth, they are more than determined than never before to ensure this time around it works, it is done, and we have the city we've all craved and desired for. Have a lovely day. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda. All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda. This is Good Morning Uganda.